Well, good morning, ladies. And to pick up on the comment, the fact that we're all here despite the weather really is a credit to the commitment to our futures. So I applaud you all for making the trip here. As Hester said, I am the CEO of FranServe. FranServe is a franchise organization that helps people own franchises. And I'm here on behalf of my company to maybe plant a little different seed in your head about what opportunities might be out there. So I look forward to chatting with you and with my esteemed colleagues to my right. When I actually started in my career, I did have the big hair. just being honest here. I actually had a company that helped people in corporate America move up. So we were a career marketing firm. I had about 200 people who were working for me, and we did exactly that for men and women who wanted to, be promoted, become managers, and move up. So we worked with them in helping them to progress in their career in corporate America, and I did that for a number of years, very successfully. We had a big company, but about, I'd say 5 or 6 years ago. And I mean no disrespect to anyone who's associated with corporate America, but, I'm a disruptor. I mean, so I'm going to say it the way I saw it. I saw corporate America turn its back on its people. Age discrimination coming up earlier, women coming back from maternity, veterans coming off of their tour of duty. It was just even education. And I saw over and over again this dead end. And in my earlier life, I was a life coach. I was a career coach. It was hard for me to stay in this environment, watching people that we had worked with over the year just get squashed down. I just felt that they were being manipulated. And so, as I said, I can't stay in that environment. As happens, I fell into the world of franchising, not planned. And as I said, when I came into the industry, the only thing I knew about franchising was that I could spell the word. Never owned a franchise, never even worked at a franchise. But because of my life coaching, I could see that this could be a path for career bliss for people, which is what my passion's about, always has been. People have to be happy with where they work because it's so much a part of our lives. And if you're not happy where you work, everything in your life kind of gets impacted by that. So I started exploring the idea of becoming a franchise consultant. Well, what the heck is a franchise consultant? I had no idea. Basically, it's someone who helps other people own franchises. It's non-sales, because I can't do sales. It's non-sales. It's like an advisory type of, it's like a coach. It's like a franchise coach. And I thought, well, that sounds about right for me. So I started doing that. Well, as I just talked about, sometimes opportunity comes up. I did that for a year and a half, and then I had an opportunity to buy this company, FranServe. That's where I started. I started at FranServe as a franchise consultant. Our former CEO was an older male, and he decided he wanted to retire. He approached me, and I bought the business. Now, this is the world's largest franchise consulting company globally. So here I was, a year and a half in, and I'm buying this company, who was a male, as the CEO, had a lot of male staff. So needless to say, some of that changed. Some people stayed, some people left. And really the reason why I'm here is to talk to you, not, to own a franchise or even to become a franchise consultant. But, Hester was reading off about women-owned businesses. Well, I can tell you right now, a huge portion of those businesses that she quoted that are, growing are franchises. Women are flocking to franchising because of the opportunities that are there. So I'm not here to, pitch franchising per se. What I'm here to talk to you about is be open to other things that might not be right on your plate, right? Because I didn't think I was going to be in franchising. I certainly never thought I'd be the CEO of this organization. But women have a tendency to listen to a lot of the noise in our heads, right? Self-doubt comes up, all the negativity. Now, what I always say is try not to listen to that. Try to talk to yourself as if you were speaking to your best friend or to your sister, someone that you cared about? Would you say all those negative things? No, right? You'd be empowering, you'd be helpful. And yet, when we look at ourselves, oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't own a business. I can't go down another path. This is the only thing I know. I went to school for this. Life doesn't work like that. Life is messy. And when opportunity knocks, you have those two choices. You walk through that door and grab it and make it go, or you just stay in your comfort zone and, kind of float by. So you have to think, is that what you want in your life? And it can happen at any age. It can happen when you're older. It can happen when you're first starting in the career. You have to train your brain and your mind and your soul to think, what is it that I want in my life, and how do I go about doing that? And that's really my position here today, ladies. As I said, it's not to put the damper on corporate America. I know plenty of people who are happy in corporate America. I know more people who are not, but that's okay. That's all right. But it really is to challenge you, to make you think that maybe what you think you want might not be the way it looks like right now on paper, and to be open to the things that are out there in that world, because if you just take it, you can have anything that you want, right? The quote that was up on the board, remember when was it Anne-Marie? Somebody asked us to send in the quotes, right? And mine was what I always quote, Walt Disney. It's kind of fun to do the impossible. So I just want you to hold on to that, ladies, and I'll turn it back over to Hester.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's funny because people always say to me, you're so confident, right? And the truth is I'm not. I'm passionate. Passion is what makes me move forward. I have a saying, and it's don't let perfection get in the way of getting something done, right? Because we can analyze until we don't move, right? Analyze and then until you're paralyzed, right? So people always say to me, you make decisions like this, you buy the company, you do this, you going international. How do you have that confidence? I don't. I have the passion to move me forward, because we're all human. We all have insecurities. We all have second guesses. That's normal. The problem is that if you don't have the passion behind you, right, you start listening to the noise. We talked about that, right? You start hearing it, the self-doubt, all the things that come up into your head. So there's three things. There's three core values at my company. It's actually three core values of my life that I bring to any company that I'm at. And they're very simple. They are how I make decisions, so I never have to worry which way do I go. First one is integrity is everything. Second is grow or die. And the third one is teamwork gets results. Anytime I have to make a decision as the CEO of this company about where we're going to go, what we're going to do, I have 450 consultants who work for me, and we represent over 500 brands. So my decisions are felt throughout the company. Now, I could either, get nervous, analyze, but those three core values always lead me to the decision. And the passion is what pushes me forward. So these are the things that I would challenge you to do. Find where your passion is. What is it that gets you excited, that gets you motivated, that gets you inspired? Let that help guide you in decision making. And you can appear confident, and sometimes you will be in your decisions. And sometimes, you're like, I kind of do it. The fingers crossed, the prayer method. I hope this works, And here's the thing. If you are you have that integrity, or you speak from the heart, if you make the wrong decision, because I have certainly made that, your team or your people or your family, your friends, they will be there to help you pick it up. It's not like, something's going to happen and the lightning bolt is going to come hit you. I don't know anyone who doesn't make mistakes in business. You look at all the great leaders that we have, right? All the business leaders, inspirational, faith, all of them. They'll tell you about mistakes they made in their lives. They'll tell you about things that went wrong. I'll give you a very early on lesson that I learned when I was, I'll just say much younger. I was a model. I did runway modeling, okay? So now this is my third show, Christian Dior. I'm walking down the catwalk, here I am. And, I had these crazy, crazy shoes. You had to wear whatever they gave you, and sometimes it wasn't the right size, and you just had to make work. So I'm coming down the catwalk, here I am. Yep, ankle turns, I go down. Now, you got cameras, you got everybody around, you got all the fashion people. you have, this thing either brings you up or you're done. Well, I started laughing. I just started laughing, and I got up and I took the one broken shoe or whatever, and I'm strutting down the steps. That was it. That is the story of what do you do in a situation like that, right? Because that could have either ended my career, run off crying, whatever. So you have to understand, follow your passion, right? Follow the things that pull you forward. Don't listen to the noise, right? So those are the kind of things. If you trip or you fall, laugh about it, get up, move on. Life goes on. You might as well enjoy it. One of my favorite quotes is, well-behaved women rarely make history, right? So it's always the challengers, it's always the disruptors, it's always the one who just says, I don't think so, right? Because this is what I feel. We're about to go into 2020, and it appalls me that the things still on the table for women are still the things on the table for women. I'm not saying we haven't made advances, but the whole equal pay, right? The glass ceiling, sexual harassment. Man, I was talking about that 15 years ago. I'm talking about it now still, which is, I know I sound like a bit of a broken record, which is the reason why I went into franchising, because I just got really sick of that whole mentality. And I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Just watching it over and over again, right? What's the definition of insanity? Repeat the same behavior over again, expect a different outcome. So what we were talking about in terms of, looks or discrimination or judgment, that is always going to be. I mean, we are human beings, and that's just kind of second nature on some level, whether it's voiced or whether it's internal. You just got to turn it off. You just don't have to care what everybody says. I was in my 20s and an executive and a formal model. Do you want to tell me what the men thought and the women thought about some little hotshot 20-something-year coming off the runway, and she's going to be talking to us about how we're going to lead a company? That was not very well received. You know what? They got over it. I moved on. So what I want to say is we're going into 2020, right? What is 2020 if you go to the eye doctor? Perfect vision. Right? Perfect vision. So you all have the opportunity right now to see clearly where you want to go. What do you want to do? And the noise that comes up, we have to all fight it. It's why we're here. It's why the panel's here. It's why you're all in this room. Beat the weather, came in. But don't let it stop after you leave this room, right? Carry that with you. Bring it into your heart and bring it into where you are. And again, go back to the passion, the vision. What do you want your life to look like? Start designing it. Start making it happen. Don't listen to the people who want to do that thumb thing. They got their own issues and problems. Let them deal with that. When I think of diversity, I know, and again, we've been talking about, male, female, black, white, races, sexes, even politics, all that. But when I think of diversity, I honestly think about the way people think. The different way that people think. And having diversity in a company, that's really what I look for. And sex and race and all that, just bring it. I'm happy about that. But I look for different ways that people think, because that's really how you grow a company. And the last thing I want is, little clones of me, right? I know how I think, right? I don't need somebody to reflect that. I want to know what other people think, because it's that outside opinion, thought, idea that is going to move this company forward. Not mine, right? The people who have something that, I won't say challenge me, but challenge me, right? I like that, bring that. And my team knows that, my company knows that. So diversity can encompass a great many things, but for me, it's your thoughts, it's your thinking, it's your mindset, which of course embodies everything that we are physically as well. Communication, right? Talking about that in the business sector on a continual basis before, pregnancy or during, because that will influence, right? Is what's the mindset of that business? For me, I have made it a joke, because sometimes I find that's the easiest way to set the tone. And I just said to the team, anyone who wants to go out on maternity leave, anything like that comes up, that's future franchise owners, right? Let them go, right? But the reality is, it is our next generation, right? It is our future. So you have to respect the women who are bringing in the next generation and our future. So rather than treat them disrespectful, we have a totally different policy. But it is the mindset of the company, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But you see, it's also our own mindset, right? It's also our own mindset. So, right? Establish your boundaries.